what's his face showed the dragon to be a dragon, and either beat the shit out of it or got the shit beat out of us, depending on interpretation.
Did everybody level up to level 12?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, that's a pretty good summary. And yeah, you got pointed to Queen. Sarissa gave you a coin that pointed you back towards that dude in Yartar.
We fucked up a shit too early.
You did. It was very alarming having to turn to chapter 11 in the module when everything else you guys were doing was in chapter 3.
We hecked up. We hecked up.
So that was fun. I was going through the chapter 3 stuff, and it's like, yeah, if they go to Yartar and they get interested in this, turn to chapter 11 of 12. And I'm like, oh, neat.
Nice.
Whoops.
We found a hole in the wall.
You did. It was a good hole, though. It saved you. The module assumes that if you don't, go to Yartar beforehand, you basically just wander around the region trying to find where that coin she gives you comes from.
Wow.
Which is pretty dumb.
Yeah.
And takes a long time. So, anyhow, y'all got teleported straight back to Yartar. I went ahead and dropped you guys just on the docks outside of the dude's ship if you wanted to go there. If you had anywhere else you wanted to try first, I do not know.
I feel like we should probably get a message to Storm Giant friend or Cloud Giant friend if we can, because we're once again at a place that we did not explain ahead of time.
Yeah, you once again teleported away from where you said you'd meet him.
So we gotta send him a note.
Don't we have a sending stone with him at this point?
I think you have a sending stone with him.
We should get one.
I know, we can't call home.
Yeah.
Let Mom know we're okay.
It's probably a good idea, but goddamn, not sure about sending stones right now.
Fair point.
We keep getting more of them, and it's just like, ugh.
They make it very convenient, to be fair.
Well, it's a magic cell phone.
Yes. It's like,
As long
yes.
as Big Brother isn't wiretapping us.
Yeah, but it's like, yes, if I'm unsure about something, I don't have to go halfway across the world to talk to my patron / possible trader.
We should invent a sending stone that isn't directly tied to another sending stone. Pick which sending stone to call to, and has like a magical battery that you can remove.
So what do? You call an operator.
We do have gnome tinkerer friends now.
No, I mean, that's a good idea. I mean, you could just have like a bunch of gnomes with a bunch of sending stones, and so you just get a sending stone with them, and then they hook you up with another sending stone, and they basically just shove them both in a tube, so you're talking from sending stone to the next.
You should go check out the professor's stuff again. I think he had something like that he was working on.
Nice.
It specifically involved the use of elk antenna as amplifiers, however.
God damn.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you want to try and call home.
I mean, no sense reinventing the wheel when nature's already made it for you.
Yeah, how are we going to get this guy a message? I'm sure we have a way to do it. I'm just trying to remember what the fuck it is.
Well, where was he headed last? That might be the better question. Because if he's still like near a city that we do have a sending stone for, we can just tell them to pass on a message.
I honestly cannot remember where you told him to go last.
I don't think we told him to go anywhere. I think we just told him where we planned on going, which isn't where we went, but is where we planned on going.
I think the last message you gave him was for Dead Snows? Because you were going to see the Shadow King.
Right, and then we popped back to the Duke, and had he already left Waterdeep by then?
He likely would have. You basically told him, yeah, we're going to Dead Snows. Like, meet us there as soon as you can. Meet us, like... Oh, you might have told him to meet you at Everland, actually.
Yeah, because then we at least be able to
Yeah.
pop in there.
Because then you can head to Dead Snows, head along, and then pop in at Everland.
Are there any...
Unfortunately, there's no
Lady
quick ways back.
Yartar with the water lady, no any mages in the air that could send a message?
The Water Baron?
Mm-hmm.
You do know those Harper guys who maintain the teleportation circle, even without her.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, and they're both in the network.
Yeah.
They are.
So we can just ask one of them to carry a letter the next time they go through.
How are they
They
going
don't go through. Other people go through.
How are they going to find Icon, though?
It's a flying castle. It's hard to miss.
That's fair. All right.
Or I mean, like, who, it was, Valhero that passed the message along last time, right?
Yes. He's in Everland, though, fighting for his life.
Yeah. But I mean, like, someone like Valhero.
Yeah.
Or we could, like, pay really quick to give a quick message.
You could probably just go to a temple and ask for a sending spell.
There we go.
We probably could.
What level spell is sending?
Or we get a scroll of sending.
You could. Do you have a scroll of sending?
Not yet.
Not at the moment.
Alright. Oh, sending's only a level 3 spell.
Again, like, where was... He was in Neverwinter, right? Was he headed anywhere for us?
Yeah, I thought it was to Everland.
You told him to go somewhere. I just cannot for the life of me remember where.
And we're working on the theory that it was Everland, yeah.
Yeah. You can probably just pay someone like 100 gold for a sending spell. And
sounds good.
Let
and then we get sending stones.
Or, sorry, not for a sending stone, for a sending spell.
I know that, but then we also get sending stones to give to Igaron next time we see him.
Yeah, you can do that too. It's like the magical version of a phone just for calling your parents to pick you up.
We should all get the ear cuff things that Vox Machina had. Sending Bluetooths.
Anyhow, sending spell and or stone for Igaron.
One then the other.
Sure. Alright. Oh, sending is a wizard spell too. Neat. I thought it was cleric exclusive. Alright. So, do you have any particular group of magic casting people that you'd like to go speak with for this sending spell? There are a bunch of temples in town. The the Harpers are wizard enough to cast you sending spells. Up to
I would
you.
assume Harper and like, because I figured Adriel is the only one who would have standing with a temple here, but it's a temple of a dragon sending to a giant.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I probably have enough standing with them now that they'd be like, okay, yes, ma'am. But the flip side of that is Harper's would probably be more used to doing that sort of thing. Put it that way. Like they have a guy who's in charge of sending messages. I'm definitely going to the Dragon Temple, but I think the Harpers would be better for sending a message.
Rich still has Harper rings, so that works.
You're also best buds with one of their leaders.
Exactly. We're like this.
Harpers?
Harper's.
All right. So you can go ahead and find the Harpers who run the teleportation circle in town. Yeah. Yeah, basically. You can go ahead and have a word with the Harpers who run the teleportation circle in town. They will gladly spot you a sending spell. They do not have sending stones for you, though. They can, however, point you to a Zent who will sell you them for a reasonable price.
Oh yeah, go get some of those.
All right. He asks 500 gold for a pair.
Inks will try to haggle to 250.
Persuade. And if a postal service would be that handy, you could go ahead and set up your own at some point.
I have a feeling that's what Adriel's going to do after this campaign is over.
Set up your own postal service?
Yeah, next campaign, there's a postal service. Dragon Mail, they'll write out.
Sure.
Extra feast of gnomes will use the network of sending stones to get your message there even faster.
That's actually a great idea for my other world. Gnomes with networks of sending stones getting things around. I like it.
It's got to have at least 3 extra steps to every sending. Like if you're going from Neverwinter to the other side of Neverwinter, interference in Everland is getting in the way.
And then it just turns into an actual game of telephone. Some words get changed.
They start paying for the clearest enunciators. All right, you haggle to 350 for the sending stones. He offers you.
All right.
Sold to the lady with the pretty mask.
Can't see that mask. It's hidden.
Metaphorically. All right, so you have sending stones. The Harpers, your message to Igron is just, yo, come meet us at Yartar, effectively.
It's probably more along the lines of change of plans. We're at Yartar now.
Sorry, this always happens, but we'll have something for next time.
So, we don't want to tell them where to go. You can make its own decisions.
I think it's only been like a couple of days since you guys left Neverwinter. So, we'll say Igron.
Yes, teleportation is fun.
Yeah, Igron replies that he'll be in Yartar in, call it 2 days.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So you've called not your mom to come pick you up. Anything else, or do you want to go deal with this guy?
Well, first we should probably find out what happened to him after we left last time.
Yeah, we need to do some info gathering.
All right.
See if Richard can talk to the lady.
So, if you approach the palace again, the Water Baron is, in fact, back in Yartar. She welcomes you into her office with a smile and...
Oh, not yet, then. We're going to the lady first.
Are you going to the lady first? It
I
sounded
do
like you.
the disguise elf spell.
I do too.
If we're seeing friends, we should go. I'll go as myself. But we're also going to need to do some like more traditional info gathering. But I could disguise myself.
Oh yeah, we'll disguise later.
Okay.
All right. So the Lady of Yartar welcomes you all into her office. Oh, it's so good to see you again. She peers at the lot of you. Are you, how did your adventures in Everland and beyond go, if I may ask?
Partial success.
Things are continuing as expected, at least at the moment.
Well, as I recall, as expected was we all die? Or
Not
something
that
to that
expected, hopefully.
I do hope, for the sake of all of us, that that it's a bit better than that. Regardless, though, I assume you have business in Yartar. Out with it? Let's hear it. I'm sorry, which name are you going by now? Oh shit, Rich isn't here. I really wish I had his list of fake names right now, but
Inks would probably remember because she's been way too amused by them. So she'll just like interject with the name he first gave her, just with a smirk.
all right. What was your business around here? She leans back in her chair, kind of knits her hands together, and smiles.
Well, we were hoping to get some information on a dear, dear friend of yours from before. A certain Lord Dryland. What's he been up to lately?
I think that's the first time somebody's actually remembered an NPC's name so far this session.
It took me a second, but I got there.
Him? He, after certain unknown persons partially burned down his boat, he lost some face, but he's mostly up to the same things as before. Trying to wine and dine and gamble the local nobility into supporting him for Water Baron.
Does he have a new boat then?
Same boat. They've fixed up almost all of the burns. I have it on good authority that part of his bedroom at least remains burned.
Well, that's good to know. We have some new business with him.
She arches a brow. Do tell. Is it the fatal kind of business? Should I be preparing for him to die?
Hopefully not before we get some information from him.
But he is going to die.
Well, that's really up to him, isn't it?
She smirks. So he's going to die. Man's an idiot.
Oh, certainly, but like I said, it's really up to him. Maybe he'll get lucky and make a smart decision for a change. But like you, I'm not holding my breath. But it's good to know we can find him in the same spot.
Oh, yes. Same employees, even, I believe. All of them survived.
Good to hear.
I suppose we'll go pay him a visit then. Apologies for being brief, but we are in a bit of a rush.
Oh, no problem at all. I understand. I also need to make some preparations. If Dryland is about to do something stupid.
Yes, it's always good to be prepared.
Yes. Well, fare thee well.
It's good to see you, Water Baron. Until next time.
And you as well. She goes back to her work. You all are ushered out of her palace.
Well, this is surprisingly by the book.
So far.
So then, how should we plan to get by him this time? Or I suppose get to him in this case.
I feel like he'll be more cautious about new people. So we'll need better disguises this time.
Do we really need to disguise ourselves? We could just like bash in the front door and start, grabbing him. Do we need to be subtle?
If he has all the same employees, then that means he has a decent amount of them. I do
And we'd
remember
really like
that
to-
place being a bit canvassed last time. Somewhat.
Seem
We
to
don't want to
remember,
hurt anyone we don't have to.
I seem to remember Rich saying a proverb about a fireball and solution.
We'll call that plan.
We need the information first. So unless you have a speak with the dead spell...
I mean, we can just grab him and fireball everybody else. I just feel like I should advocate for the plan when Rich isn't here.
Like I said, that's plan C.
You do know at least some clerics. There is a Temple of Bahamut around. Speak with Dead is on the cleric list.
Just bring a lord's corpse in there like, hey, can we talk to this dude?
I mean, he might be more inclined to give us truthful answers that way.
Show him you mean business by blowing him up?
I think he'd be less inclined at that point since he has nothing else to lose.
Well,
I don't think they're allowed to lie at that point.
right. That was my point. Is I think Speak with Dead forces you to tell the truth.
But again, plan C. Plan A is to do this subtly and just grab him and deal with him directly.
Oh, no. Speak with the Dead does not give compulsion to offer a truthful answer.
And if he's dead, I can't use my little vial of truth serum.
Oh, yeah, you have one of those.
Been holding on to that shit since like level 4.
Yeah. I totally forgot you had one of those. Yeah.
I could also prepare Zone of Truth. Probably should.
That's a good idea. Yours might work better.
Yeah, that would be good. So, how are we grabbing him?
Well, what would we remember from the last time we were on that boat?
I'm just going to drop you back on the map of his boat. So he still has a captainy looking fellow manning the door. There's still a lot of nobles wandering around. He still has commoners who are like his rowers. He's got basically a pit boss for the lower decks, and then his rooms on the upper floor. That's what his boat looks like.
Inks, do you have greater invisibility?
No, but I think Richard does?
Okay. So we could probably... I mean, if he's in his room, we might be able to just sneak in, grab him there, and basically just go over the side. Do you have flight by any chance?
No. I also think Richard has that one, though.
Yeah. I think we would need both.
Yeah, don't get my wings for another couple minutes.
Flight might not be concentration, if I remember correctly. I will check Rich's spell list real quick.
I'm pretty sure it is, but
Yeah, I think it is.
I can't imagine it not being. Yeah, it is.
Alright. You do have that flying carpet.
That is also true.
So, I mean, I guess the question is, do we mind people seeing us leaving the boat? Because I could probably sneak in, especially with greater invisibility from Rich, and grab him, and then jump out onto the carpet and he just fly away. But then it would be fairly noticeable that we were leaving with him.
Well, if we're trying to
Not
be really
sure.
subtle about it, what about the people we asked last time to fuck with him? Be like, hey, do you want this guy to have a bad time twice in a row?
Who
Tis
did
an
we get to
option.
mess with him? I don't remember.
I can't remember their exact name, but they're
Or
like
something?
this band of all-female thieves that are based in Yartar. Give me a sec.
I feel like it involves the word hand.
The Hand of Yartar.
Aha!
Yeah. Who, if I recall correctly, are a band of all-female thieves.
Hey, do you want to steal a noble?
Hell yeah, we do. They're down for that. What do you need them to do though?
Kidnap him, take him to some place where we can have a talk with him subtly.
Okay, they tell you that if you want them to do the kidnapping, they're gonna need a distraction.
Oh, that we can do.
Oh yes, we're good with that.
Alright. Where do you want to meet him? Where do you want to meet them?
That's a good question.
Do you have any suggestions for safe spaces?
Well, if Rich were here, he could scare you up probably a safe house using his criminal contact. Unfortunately, he is not here.
Damn it, Richard!
Keep a
Why is
running
he not actually
tally.
here?
Yes. He is literally not here. That's why. It's very annoying. So we're going to say that he does do that. And scares you up a safe house by going to talk to his criminal contact here. You are correct. He does have greater invisibility.
Nice. And the rest of us probably have access to some kind of disguise magic. So great.
Does Ux?
No. Ox has.
Well, that's what I figured the greater invisibility would be for.
Well, I mean, if we're trying to cause a distraction, though, I'm not sure that visibility is going to help as much.
Yeah, but also if we're doing something illegal to make a distraction, then we don't want you to get, arrested.
You don't have any illusions that'll work on me, do you? I.e., not self.
Nah, it's like my only illusion.
Have my hat, but then I need a disguise.
Isn't the hat attunement anyway?
Yes, it is.
So that's not going to work.
We just get you a cloak and a mask.
Yeah, I mean, we could disguise kit it, or we could...
Yeah, literally just a cloak and like a mask over your robot face. Like doll.
I do have disguise kit proficiency. So yeah,
I do too.
we'll come up with something.
All right.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I was thinking you could make me look like a half-orc, and I just grab the guy at the front and throw him over the docks. Just start grabbing whoever else comes out and throwing them over the docks as well. Seems like a good distraction to me.
The moment when I regret not getting
Just fight with the bouncers? That would be distracting.
I mean, again, less fight, more just...
Throw them off the boat.
But if I remember correctly, his pit boss or whoever it was a wizard.
She is a mage, yes. Her name is Pao Ming.
So gotta be careful of that.
Don't you have counterspell yet?
Yes, actually we do.
Yay.
There you go. I'm amazed it took until level 12.
Right.
We honestly haven't gone up against that many casters.
That's true, actually.
And also, like, didn't really have to do anything with the professor because I just held him.
Yeah, well, his golems kind of did things. Um, all right. So yeah, what do you actually want your distraction to be just like throwing people off the boat?
I think we can come up with something better than that.
I have major image still.
I mean, my alternative suggestion is making holes in the bottom of the boat, causing it to start sinking.
That would sure distract people, all right. What other ideas do we have for distractions?
Pondering what sort of stuff I could do with major image.
Major.
I could.
Make it seem like zombies are attacking. Because the undead are like right there.
That's true. But it is a boat.
Zombies can survive underwater, probably.
Yeah,
If World War Z didn't lie to me.
that's true. Or get like a devourer going through the water towards the boat.
Ooh.
But then also that freaks out literally everyone in town. But I guess that's okay.
Depends on how much you like Yartar.
Yeah, causing extreme panic. That might piss off the water baron though.
Maybe just a little.
Though honestly, I feel like depending on the distance, if Richard remembers where that bedroom is or whatever. We could probably
Do you want to just dimension door into his room? Is this going to become
could.
a theme? Is this going to become a theme with you guys?
I mean, if we did that, we could just like start fires again and then dimension door out.
I mean, assuming he's there, we wouldn't even start fires. We could just dimension door, grab him. Well, but then we still have the how do we leave question.
Yeah, I would have to dimension door back out.
But you can't dimension door with an unwilling person, can you?
I could make him willing with suggestion.
Yeah, dimension door, you have to have a willing person.
I'm sure if I suggest he come with me for a few minutes, that's willing. Trying to think of what a good major image would be to cause panic on a boat without having it be seen outside the boat.
Fire.
Yeah, plenty of fire. But if they don't feel the heat off of it...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think major image can create heat, but not enough heat.
It wouldn't last long enough anyway because they'd start fighting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's gonna be the problem with almost any illusion.
Yeah, that's why an illusion is better if it's off the boat, but it would have to be something that would only be a threat to the boat.
Yeah. Thinking.
It was the old good old fashioned start a riot or a disturbance on the casino floor. Assuming he's still doing the casino thing.
Yeah.
You know, stuff.
Doesn't Richard have like Crown of Madness or something like that? Make somebody else do it for us?
Even better.
Does anybody have Crown of Madness?
That's why I was wondering whether Richard does or not.
It really is his kind of game.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Oh, he has Dominate Person, doesn't he? Because he did it on the one person.
Person. He also has Otto's Irresistible Dance.
Oh, there's that.
Ah, damn, it's only one. Only one. Should make a mass version of this. That needs to be a thing.
Otto's Irresistible Rave.
ninth level spell. Turn all creatures within a 60-foot area begin to dance and pop and lock.
Until they get dehydrated and fall over.
Does it also cause magical blacklights or glow sticks?
But of course!
Nice.
How could it be a rave without those?
Otto's Irresistible Sandstorm. Sorry, Darude is Irresistible Sandstorm.
Yeah. Okay. That's going in. I need to write that down. Regardless, though, you still haven't given me something for like
I'm still thinking.
a distraction.
What if, what were some of the, was there anything that looked like animals in there? Did he have like a collection?
He had an octopus in his room. Pao Ming has. Pao Ming looks like the kind of person to own snakes.
Oh yeah, fuck ton of snakes. Motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking boat, let's do it! 20-foot cube worth of snakes, I am in on this.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's the one. And I have speak with animals, so I can convince the existing snakes that the time for freedom is nigh.
You're describing like one of my worst nightmares right now.
Hence why it makes a great distraction, because I'm sure plenty of those nobles think of the same thing.
Oh god. Okay.
They've got to be like particularly poisonous, though, to discourage
They're
anybody
fucking
from touching
colorful
them.
Snakes.
What's the point of having snakes if they're not colorful? Am I right?
Exactly.
I mean, maybe you want to constrict. You know, just a nice snake to cuddle up with and hug and let it squeeze you a little bit.
Snakes are actually a good cuddler.
I will take your word for it. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, you know,
Fun.
it's
You got to get one that's about the size of your arm.
We
It's the
make it
correct
seem like
size for a
one of the
snake.
gamblers is a secret Yuan-Ti pureblood. And then boom, snakes.
That's just plain mean to somebody.
Oh, but yeah, I'm all in on this, like, snakes on a boat.
I'm so glad. All right, snakes on a boat.
I'm all for snakes on a boat. Can also scout out the place to sneak in and do it. Or actually, what's the distance on major image? 120 feet. Okay. But yeah, probably need to be inside for that. But yeah, I can see if it's docked any nobles that seem to be coming out. We can probably disguise ourselves as them and go back in saying, like, I think I forgot something. I need my pouch. I forgot my pouch.
I like it.
All right. So,
Do that for a bit. Dimension door out.
you want to. So let me get this straight. You want to make your way onto the boat, major image a fuck ton of snakes into existence.
Yep.
Well, letting out some actual snakes to ensure that the illusion is complete.
Well, letting out some actual snakes. Okay. And then you want to go grab the Lord and.
Well, I assume we're letting the other ones grab the Lord. We're making the distraction.
Right. Okay. And then you're letting the other people grab the Lord. Is there anything else you want to do for your distraction?
Scream really loud to get people's attention and then run like hell away from the snakes.
All right. So
Then
where?
find a safe corner, like a secret corner, and dimension door the hell out of there.
All right. So where are you gonna get these real snakes? And how many of them do you want?
There's woods around. We could just grab some.
All right. Grab some snakes.
Yep.
Make nature.
Like, hey, guys.
Make nature and animal handling checks, everyone, please. Both checks.
Checking that.
Great at this.
Oh, it's okay. I guess I should roll for Rich, too. Alright, Adriel, you do...
And yeah, I'm going to cast Speak with Animals when we start finding snakes.
Alright.
I am Snake Lord.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Marasage is coming in handy.
Yeah,
Despite
you
being
all
dead.
do. Everybody actually does pretty well on finding snakes. So you all kind of go out. A couple of you try and stay within the city. A couple of you head out into the forest. But you all gather back together, and you've gathered probably like 25 regular snakes to fit your actual to be the actual part of your illusion. They're probably averaging about a meter in length.
And also, we have illusion, so they can go into the illusion.
Yep. All right.
An illusion that looks wider than it is.
So you can speak with animals on Adriel. What do you tell these snakes?
We're going somewhere fun. There'll be rats.
Rats. We love rats.
I know, right? Come on in, it's warm here.
Worms. Excellent. All right. So they slither into your warm, spare tunics.
No, like in her shirt.
Oh, actually in your shirt.
Oh yeah. Snakes love that.
Okay.
It's warm, it's cozy, it's dark. What more could you want?
Okay.
Purse. I think I could use a purse.
Okay. So you stick several snakes in your shirt. Yay. They are very, very comfy in there. They snuggle up to you.
Excellent.
Aww. So you're playing a Yuan-Ti next campaign, right?
I actually was thinking of doing, if you hit someone with a longbow as a melee weapon, it qualifies for both Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter.
What?
So you can get a -10 to hit for +20 damage. I've been thinking about ways to make that work. Sort of. I think you can do it with Hexblade, actually.
What the fuck?
What do you use with Hexblade to make that work?
Well, if you curse them, you get the 19 to 20 crit, which gives you at least a 10% chance of actually hitting something. Because, -10 to hit. Plus, when you do hit, you can throw the smite on top of it.
Interesting.
And at like fifth level, you're doing around 70 damage average. Like once a fight, but
Holy hell.
What about a champion fighter? Because they get the
champion fighter would get there too, but you wouldn't get the smites.
Yeah.
So it's like between the two of those or barbarian.
Can you split levels between them?
Oh, totally. I think they stack too.
Yeah, I don't know how.
But I won the Eldritch Smite, which is 5 levels of Hexblade already.
Yeah.
And it's 2 feet, so that's starting with Variant Human. You need 5th level just to get that far. But then I'd probably switch to Champion just to do that. And you can pick up both fighting styles if you go Champion. Not that they both apply, but.
Oh.
But yeah, a guy who runs into battle and hits people with a longbow.
So it's basically extreme crit fishing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I kind of want to see how that works out.
I want to play it's like a one-shot concept, but
yeah. Maybe we'll run
Does he
something where you,
hit somebody
we'll
for
run something where you can try that.
What is he doing? Hit someone for 70 damage. Oh,
Oh, oh my god. All right. All right. Right, we were on about you guys trying to make a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I have been suitably distracted.
Yes, okay, we
Let's
do
get
the
back
thing. It's
to
done.
the actual distraction. You wanted to get on the boat. So, step one, get on the boat.
Yep. I'd say we canvas, wait for some nobles to leave, disguise ourselves as them, and go back saying they're like, oh, we forgot some stuff.
Okay.
Or just as other nobles coming in.
Okay. That also works. Pretty sure that's what you did last time, was just disguise yourself as nobles and talk your way.
So actually, we didn't even disguise, like, we looked like ourselves, mostly. We just,
yeah, we wore
suited
fancy
up.
clothes.
Yeah, because we didn't have how to
Oh,
disguise
yeah.
at that point.
As a reminder, the dude does not allow weapons aboard the ship. The captain at the docks will not allow you on board if you are carrying weapons.
Okay,
Done and done.
stow weapons.
I'm smoking a pipe.
All right. So, you all do you wanna disguise yourselves at all, or do you just want to head in?
Disguise
The
yourself.
rest of the
Disguise
guys-
this time. Not gonna look like we looked last time. Which was ourselves.
All
We
right,
also have a coin to show that we belong there.
you do. So, you disguise yourselves to the nines. Most of you have illusion. Are you in? Is Ox becoming invisible for this, or are you just?
We will have manually disguised him as a bodyguard.
manually disguised him as a bodyguard. All right, those
Big
of
half-orc bodyguard.
whoever wants to make the disguise kit check, make me a dex check with proficiency.
Dex check, not deception?
For actually,
Disguise gets its own thing.
for actually applying the disguise,
It's disguise kit proficiency? Oh, nice.
I have disguise kit proficiency.
Sweet. Same.
okay.
Between the two of us, that would be the advantage.
Ox is cloaked up and covered. Ox actually does look like a pretty convincing bodyguard.
And I will always love you.
All right. So you want to go and try and talk your way past Captain Nelvin Storm of the Grand Dame.
Done and done, darling.
All right. You approach on the docks towards Captain Nelvin Storm. He eyes you all. Oi, who are you then?
I believe we are two lovely ladies looking to gamble again. She kind of brings out the coin and flicks it up and catches it.
Make a deception check with advantage.
Mm-hmm. always so slow thing. It's trying to work. It's really trying. Boom.
Okay, you beat his insight roll by a total of 23.
She's too busy
so
being really pretty and distracting him.
He inclines his head. All right, go right on aboard, ladies. Take your bodyguard, will you?
That's right. You know, some of the scoundrels can get once they've been drinking. Just gives them a wink and blows them a kiss and goes by.
He looks appreciative and stands aside to let you on. You are back on the decks of the Grand Dame. It seems just as you remember.
Only much less on fire this time.
Yes, that too. There's still the lovely decorative lanterns that are all over the ship. There's still that winch at the front for the anchor. And the door behind you to the casino, from which you can hear people laughing, talking, and having a good time.
Also, point of order, I'm assuming Rich is also here with us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Is there like a snake tank on display? A terrarium, perhaps?
There is not. You do notice that the pit boss, Pao Ming, is wearing a robe with many very lifelike looking serpents embroidered on it.
I see. Okay.
Let's go into the most crowded section.
Spread out a bit from her so that we're not on top of each other.
All right.
So
So
I think keep in pairs, one person with Richard, one person with me. Because Jinx's desire is to make the illusion, start some chaos, find a safe space for both of us to all of us to mention door out. And just
And as soon as and as soon as I see the illusion going, like the snake's out.
All right.
You can start towards the bathrooms, like in a corner, like entering into the main room, and then just start them looking like they're coming through the door.
All right. So like through this door or something?
Yeah, one of the sides are towards the back so that everyone starts rushing towards trying to get to the exit and causing commotion. Or actually, probably in the middle so they keep going everywhere.
All right. Pao Ming is standing more or less in the middle. So you want to like this door then? Coming in from here, or like sprouting from the middle, or what?
Probably from one of those back doors. Just where the most people would see it, where the most people are gathered, probably.
Okay. Adriel, do you want to place yourself just for where you're letting out the snakes?
One moment, please.
Your token should be down at the bottom.
There.
All right. Ooh, right next to the kitchen. Good stuff. All
Oh no,
right.
they've been feeding people snakes too, and now they're angry!
All right. So you want to start spreading snakes from the back door. Adriel's going to let out the real snakes from just in front of the kitchen. And then you're going to jump out.
Basically.
All right. Awesome.
They jump out.
Dimension
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Teleport, jump, dimension door, whatever. You know what I'm saying. I assume.
Though, Inks might stay around a little bit longer, just trying to find a place to keep watch on, because she's also might have to counterspell any dispel magic from the mage. Just for
All right. All right. So, Inks, you begin casting your major image. Adriel, subtly.
Level 6, so it stays after no concentration until it's dispelled.
Okay. Oh boy. So there's just going to be a horde of snakes haunting this, illusory snakes haunting this boat until it dies. Brilliant. All right, Adriel lets out the actual snakes from near the door. Adriel, roll sleight of hand with disadvantage for me, because you are letting a bunch of snakes out of your shirt. Or okay, 14, good enough.
Some are coming out of the bag too.
Yeah, you slide snakes out of your shirt, out of the bag, onto the floor. One person catches sight of you, like, what the fuck? But they're pretty drunk, and all they manage to do is kind of flail incoherently at someone else. Like, hey, look at her. What's she doing?
We give them a wink.
Okay. As the less sober members of the room begin to notice your snakes, Inks's illusion kicks in. The screaming begins towards you. Pao Ming looks at the snakes, kind of sighs, and then looks like she's trying to cast Dispel Magic on the real snakes.
Subtle spell, counterspell.
She looks very confused when her spell fails. Meanwhile, the illusory snakes are coming out in much greater quantity from the lower end of the room, slithering towards everybody, hissing at them, and doing their best to climb tables and chairs towards people.
I'm gonna yell out that I got bit.
All right, you yell.
Let out a ear-piercing scream.
Ah! One bit me!
Scream, run, find a steady alcove, grab either Adriel or Ox.
Yeah, it's like, I'll Misty Step if I have to get there faster.
The screaming begins from the other patrons as well. There is something of a stampede out of the room. With Pao Ming vainly attempting to, like, shepherd people. The snakes continue to spread over the boat. It's the snake's boat now.
We'll wait until it's thoroughly chaotic and then make sure there's no more dispel attempts and then dimension door out.
Alright. Yeah. You dimension door out. Everybody's kind of run for their lives. The snakes have spread upstairs as well. And so you start seeing crew members and other nobles come down from upstairs, screaming.
Also, just to let you know, Inks at least told this plan to the Hand of Yartar so they would know exactly what's going on.
Oh, that's good of you.
It's good not to have the assassins confused.
The kidnappers. They're not assassinating anybody tonight. They're just kidnapping him.
Thieves.
But yeah, probably a good plan. So you dimension door off.
Kind of safe spot. Transform back with a hat of disguise.
Yep.
I cast a different disguise on myself.
All right. So you are off the boat. There are screaming nobles and crewmen running off the boat, shouting about snakes and being bitten.
We should just try to discreetly sneak away from this and get to the safe spot Rich found.
All right. Nobody's really looking for you guys. You've changed disguises already, and honestly, there's enough screaming people running off the boat. No one's really looking for you. So you can make it to the safe house, no problem, where you find a woman standing next to Lord Casper Dryland.
Oh, you lot are too good.
Do you need anything else? Otherwise, I'm gone.
As long as he's not getting away anytime soon, I think we're good. Thank you.
She leaves you. Enjoy.
Oh, of course.
All right, you set up your zone of truth around him. Lord Dryland looks up at you all, and as you're casting, he begins to speak. Oh, I assure you that's not necessary.
Oh, shit.
I just, as long as you promise me that you're not going to kill me, I'll just answer your questions. I'm not dumb enough to try and fight you.
Inks just, like, tilts her head, looks at Adriel, like, surprising.
Sounds like he's been through this before.
That's fair.
Well, when a party of adventurers comes knocking at your door, or when they send thieves to kidnap you in the night, after a couple of times you get the picture.
Well, that's nice.
That makes it so much easier then. Wonderful. Well,
It is much easier for both of us. All I want is to get back to running my business. Ask me your questions. Let's get this over with.
very well, that can be arranged. I don't need to kill you if you answer truthfully. Well then, where have you and your Kraken Brotherhood hidden King Hecaton? We know.
King's on the Morkov. It's a custom boat I had built. Probably 10 years or so ago. They have it sailing around the trackless sea right now. Slarkrethel, our lord, has placed some anti-divination spells on it. Make sure nobody can find it by magic.
Would any of us know where that sea is?
I'm sure we know offhand where the trackless sea is.
Almost certainly.
How is a storm giant being held in a boat?
They keep him in stasis, I believe. I am unsure as to the details. Last I saw him, he was chained down and looked as if he was having a nice nap.
And how did you lot even manage to get through stealing the King of the Storm Giants?
Ah, well, that was easy enough. We just had to persuade him a little.
Thinks arches the brow.
The Lord raises both his eyebrows. Hold on. It sounds like my Lord isn't very happy with me. Oh. Lord Dryland's eyes widen in dread
Oh, fuck.
as a blood vessel pops in.
Adriel.
And
I'll try casting Dispel Magic on him.
does not does nothing. He crumples.
Lay on hands.
Falls over. He's dead.
Wow.
Straight up dead. And I don't know if my nasally voice
That was crazy.
yeah, I don't know if my nasally voice quite conveyed it. But yeah, it's in a cluster of islands in the north of the Trackless.
Wait, did he say what his lord was?
He mentioned Slarkrethel. Slarkrethel. I'm certain I've dropped this name to you guys a couple times. I think it's actually in one of the
Oh shit!
old
I'm just
notes
reading
that I
this.
gave you.
Damn it! Where is it?
It's in the one about the Vonendon. Slarkrethel pops up there. Spoiler alert. Slarkrethel is a kraken.
Oh fuck!
Tryland may or may not have been one of its thralls.
All right. Well, after listening to that, he has well, whatever this Larkrethel is, has stupid ideas for thralls. But we got the information we need. Let's deal with this.
We gonna go kill a kraken now?
No, we're just going to kidnap another noble.
Suppose free another noble. Technically.
One or the other. Well, what we're going to need first, though, is a ship and a crew.
We do have a flying castle.
You do have a flying castle.
Good point.
And this time we could actually meet up.
Yeah, if you wait another day and a half for Igeron to actually show up.
It's going to be faster than finding a ship and a crew and sailing over there. Especially from Yartar.
We should just teleport over there and leave a message for Ageron.
Continuing the chain of dragging him around the world.
Darling, I do like men chasing me, but not quite like this. Either way, if it can't be divined, then trying to find it from above is probably our best option.
The castle.
On a ship.
The castle also does. It's not a small ship. The castle also does have many large telescopes attached to it.
See, perfect. we should probably at least take the time until he gets here to try to research Krakens and whatever sort of group might be on here. See if we need anything scroll-wise.
All right. So you've got about a day and a half then to. Okay. Yeah. Here. So the place that you're looking for is on that map. It's called the Purple Rocks. It's basically out into the ocean a little ways.
Okay.
It's a good ways from land.
About how far out would Icaron be now? Like about
where? Igaron's probably somewhere over the Star Metal Hills right now.
Okay.
Why?
Just wanted to see which place he was closer to. I never went to Yartar, but Yartar seems to be the case.
Probably Artaria.
Okay, so if they're holding a storm giant with magic on a Kraken ship covered in magic, that means we need a lot of anti-magic things. Which luckily, at least some of us got some spells now. But potentially a Dispel magic scroll might be useful unless somebody has it.
That is a possibility.
I keep it prepared these days.
All right. Excellent.
I can punch wizards. Does that count?
Hey,
Often it does.
Yes, yes it does, darling.
alas, for you do not know the spell splinter maneuver. No? Okay. All right. You guys did mention wanting to research Krakens, though, while you were waiting for Igaron to show up.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
Looking for scrolls, looking for other stuff. Is there anything in particular, scroll-wise or anything else-wise, that you're looking for?
I'd be looking for general hints on how to fight Krakens.
General hints on how to fight Krakens. All right. Anybody who's looking for Kraken stuff, maybe nature or history checks.
Inks might see about getting a scroll of Dispel magic just in case something happens to Adriel.
That might not be a bad idea. Nature or history, whichever one floats your boat.
They're the same for me, so.
Great. You just have a religion, right? Yeah.
I do have religion, but it's meant to be generic dragon knowledge.
Right.
As you get away from dragons, it starts dropping off.
Anybody else want in on this Kraken learning action?
I do. too, but I don't know if that
Yeah,
would take
just
up the
like-
time that needed to get to scroll.
Scroll of Dispel Magic shouldn't take you too much time.
Okay, then yes.
Take you a few hours of looking through the market.
Alas, I do not know much about krakens.
Waiting for it to load. Like, I like keeping my sheet in another tab so that I can get to it, but it just takes so long.
Alright. So, you all
We got
know.
the cat to do it.
I thought you left relics with Iger on.
Ah, damn it, yeah.
But you all know at least that Krakens are bad news. They are. They are. Most Krakens are ancient, from around the same time as the gods were like fighting primordials. So remember that fire primordial you guys had? About as old as he was. And several of them are about as powerful, if not more so. Some of them have been known to learn to cast spells as well over the long, long period that they're alive.
Yes, wonderful. So let's hope that the Kraken isn't on this ship immediately.
Probably not. They prefer to be in water, and they are,
Oh, let's say around the ship.
yeah, mechanically speaking, they are gargantuan sized.
Yes, around the ship.
Well, they like the deep sea too.
Oh yeah,
So if anything, it's probably under the ship.
Well, Krakens, terrifyingly enough, there have been Kraken in the past who have like gone up rivers and made their lairs in like river deltas and stuff. They are not. They are most often deep sea dwellers, but not necessarily. Plus, they're fully amphibious. And that's all the fun Kraken facts you get for now.
Unsubscribe Kraken facts.
You have been subscribed to Kraken facts. Did you know that Krakens will fuck you up?
Unsubscribe Kraken facts.
So yeah, them's the Krakens.
Well, meanwhile, I'll get a scroll or two of spell magic.
Sorry?
And then meanwhile, scroll or like maybe two
Oh.
scrolls of spell magic.
Call it 300 per scroll if you're going for two. 350 for the one if you're not.
About 500 for the both.
I'll persuade.
I'll even use the luck point to advantage that if I need to.
Sure, 400 gold. Right. The Lady of Yartar can point you towards some people. The periaptive proof against poison, that's uncommon, yeah?
Rare.
Rare? Okay. Call it 600 gold. He's asking for.
Try and haggle him down to 500.
Okay. Roll persuade.
I'll assist you with that if you want.
He gives you 575 for an 8.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, is there anything else people want to look for? Is there any more? You have another day. You can try and research more about Krakens or anything else you want.
Would anyone else know about that particular ship?
The Morkov?
Mm-hmm.
Which I will type in chat for you. You can try. It is unlikely, but you can try.
How much would it cost to pick up a +2 or +3 weapon?
You already effectively have +2, don't you?
I've got a +1.
Well, no, we gave you the +1 hand wraps at one point, and then you have that +1 thingy.
I mean, I've got my offense form, but that is just in addition to whatever.
Oh, you should. Because you got enhanced for the +1 hand wraps at one point.
Are you thinking of the bracers of defense I got?
No, I swear we enhanced your fists to be +1. Because I remember wondering if that was a thing that I should let you do.
I think we talked about it. I don't think we ever did it.
Oh. We should have. I remember saying yes to it.
I think it was yes, but it would cost more, and I didn't have enough at the time.
Oh.
Or we needed more downtime.
Okay. That sounds like something that might have happened. Yeah. How much gold do you have currently?
Just shy of 2,000.
Okay, so for +2 weapons are rare.
Yep.
So if you wanted to find some +2 bracers or fist wraps or something, call it 1,300 base.
All right. I'll try to haggle it down a little bit.
Okay. What do you want to haggle to?
1,400 and not a penny less. I mean, a penny more.
He he looks at you, kind of shrugs, and says, "Okay." Now holds his hand out expectantly.
I'll pay him.
Nobody ever wants to go get their shit with their wing woman.
I mean, I figured Ox could manage this at least. I may have been wrong.
Like, I literally have a plus 12 to persuasion right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was for anything more expensive, I would have. But I figured what's the worst that could happen with that? And now we know.
Yes, we do.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. Alright. So, post buying of magical items and Kraken researching, a floating castle seems to peek out at you from behind the clouds. As you awake one morning.
Alright, then. Let's go fill him in.
You find a set of hippogriffs outside your inn as you leave in the morning.
Sweet.
They
Hello,
look at you.
Mondays?
They look at you expectantly and a little bit annoyed. It's very early in the morning for them.
Give one a piece of steak.
It looks much happier all of a sudden. Like, ooh,
Yeah, give me
you're my new favorite.
Just look at like the really sad, tired things like, same, darling, same. Alright, let's get going.
Sorry, you need to take something out before it burned.
Yay, not burning.
Yay, not burning. Alright, so the hippogriffs take off. You can kind of see a little bit of Igron's castle hiding in the clouds. So you can head towards it. The hippogriffs will set you down in the middle of the courtyard, where Igron stands waiting for you. Jesus, where have you been? I've been trying to find you for ever. Seems like. First it was Everland, now it's Yartar.
Oh, I'm sorry,
What's
darling.
going on?
Teleportation is one hell of a drug. What's
Ah.
happened though?
Well, care to fill me in on the good parts at least?
As good
Certainly.
as can be expected.
Alright. And before you do we have a destination in mind now?
Sort of.
Do we have a general Yeah.
We're looking
Igron,
for a ship on the trackless sea.
Igron raises both eyebrows.
And yes, we know exactly how bad that sounds.
Do you have anything else to go on?
Was it like the Purple Rocks?
It's supposed to be near Purple Rocks,
Oh,
and it's big enough to hold a giant. So we'll be able to eliminate a lot of them.
all right. That narrows it down significantly. Mother, Could you set our course, please?
Don't forget to mention the fact that there's probably a crack in it.
Igoron, face, meet palm. Oh, good.
My
You always do lead me towards the best situations, don't you? Never a dull moment.
Oh, I would hope not.
I finally understand why "may you live in interesting times" is a curse for some people.
Thanks for giving a wink. Oh, you know you love it, darling.
He chuckles a bit.
But
Oh.
hopefully soon enough it'll be all behind us.
Hopefully. Care to grab some dinner? Some food? I haven't eaten yet today, and it sounds like you've quite a story to tell me about what you've been up to while I was gone.
Oh, girl, do I ever. Like,
Lead the way.
wine sounds good. As I drink wine from my tumbler. Tell an awesome story about giants and dragons and krakens, oh my.
Igoron sits rapt at your story and expresses just the right amount of excitement.
She even uses a major image to show parts of it. At least from her Rashomon type perspective.
The snakes give Igoron the willies.
Not that part.
Which part then?
Probably a little bit of the fight with the dragon.
Ooh, good choice.
Made it look especially ugly.
Igoron cheers. Igoron cheers when you guys punch the dragon and expresses distress when half of you are afraid. Most of the time, it's there. But he cheers appropriately when you're beating the shit out of it.
I mean, we smacked it around, but good. But it hit back harder.
Don't worry about it. It's small game in this entire strange play we're in. Which is a strange thing to say about an ancient blue dragon. Which just assumes how shitful this entire thing is.
Speaking of dragons of a certain age, don't we have a friend dragon, bronze dragon, up near Luscon?
Assuming it got out alright.
You had a friendly bronze dragon that you'd met on the Countess's flying castle, who you had set up to escape.
I believe he told us he was up near Luscon somewhere.
He may head that way.
Yeah, I thought he was going to head there after escape. I don't know that we've actually heard from him after that.
I don't think we have.
No.
But I would like to make an attempt to contact.
I mean, we can swing up that way. It's more or less along the way.
Pretty much. Well, even if we go in a straight line from here to the Trackless Sea, that's
Not that far out of the way.
especially for a dragon.
Will Igoron be okay with this?
That's kind of the main question.
Just don't let him near me, or any of my things, or any of my servants, or anyone else but yourselves.
Is anyone using the old caverns in the lower part of the castle?
They're not, actually.
Excellent.
I believe we still have some gold in storage down there, but As long as you keep
Will not
away
be
from
touched.
there. As long as you keep away from there, won't be a problem.
Okay, that's assuming we can even get in contact with him, which has not been.
Yeah, I think it's only been like maybe a week since you guys left him.
Yeah, it's been a busy ass week.
It has. There's been a lot going on.
I don't officially have a good way to do this.
Yeah. Well, regardless, you have a fair chunk of time before you even like get near it.
What are you intending to ask?
Like 300 miles to Liscon. Sorry?
She's asking Adriel what she intends to ask it. Like,
Essentially, if it can provide a couple of, I mean, if it can fight alongside us, that'd be fantastic. I don't know if that's realistic, though.
It probably won't even get close, considering we're going after trying to free a dragon or a giant.
I don't know. I don't know how angry he is. But even if not, there are other favors I can ask, seeing as he is a dragon. And they have access to magics that might be helpful to me.
Potentially helping people in Everland?
That's a possibility.
The sooner they nip that little problem in the bud, the sooner they can help us with ours.
Do you want to fight a Dracolich? I feel like that's how you end up fighting a Dracolich.
No comment. Thanks.
In other words, that was totally on the list of potential outcomes.
Oh, no, that actually was not on the list at all. Thank you for the idea.
Damn it.
Actually, I'm more hoping for help doing something with the mask. Because it's still a black dragon mask, and that annoys me.
Are you trying to, like, consecrate it?
Basically. But I realize I don't have is any good way to contact other planar ally, any of those kind of spells. Because those are cleric spells.
Correct.
I have to say, contact planar ally is a fantastic panic button spell.
What does that do?
It summons a planar ally, cleric based. It's required to show up and hear you out. And you can ask it to do stuff, and there's like listed costs, but it can decide what the cost is. So basically, it gives you, for enough money, access to any thing you might want to do, but it tends to get pricey. But it's like, for enough gold, you can do whatever, in effect. But the prices get high, so it's really whatever the DM wants to let it do. But it's super
Also
handy,
has
like,
a,
we need to be on this other plane. Alright, it'll cost you X.
Also has a 10-minute cast.
Yeah, no, it's not a combat spell.
Right.
Okay.
But it's been extremely handy when you get into these like bizarre situations. Especially when you need to do like 3 things at once.
So you're saying we need to get a cleric?
That would be handy.
Next time, Gadget, next time.
It's on my list of characters to play. I want to play a cleric just to play one.
Same.
Am I hearing an all cleric party for next campaign?
I've already got a picture. Someone did an amazing job this time around.
I'd be down for that.
All right.
Potentially interesting. Hunting down heretics and demons.
Actually,
So we're playing Rogue Trader.
actually, yeah,
No, that's Inquisitor.
Dark Heresy.
yeah, Dark Heresy, that's the one.
All right.
Hunting down like mutants and heretics is actually not that far off from what I have planned for next campaign. So,
Oh,
Hold off then.
no, like that would be great if you guys did a full cleric thing for it. I'm also.
And The
What?
necromancer.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think we're gonna have a campaign in between.
Grave.
Cleric of Kellenvor?
Oh no,
David's going away. There's someone pulling
Yeah.
up.
When I'm talking about next campaign, I'm talking about the continuation one that I have planned for immediately after this. The one where I'm going to start you all at level 17.
Oh fuck.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm leveling you guys quickly now.
Anywho. Edward will probably go down in the cave and carve out a little shrine and spend as much time praying as possible to see if she can potentially contact some sort of celestial agent to see if they can get in contact with the friend dragon whose name Edriel would totally remember. That Jeff does not.
I totally wrote this down.
His name is Felgalos.
Yeah.
Fogelus. Foggy.
This isn't Daredevil. You can't have a foggy.
You're right, our monk is not blind.
He could be. We can make that happen.
I do know blinding smite.
I mean, I feel like part of that also has to come with blind sight. If we're gonna do this properly.
Sight, smite, close enough.
I feel like it's not.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Plus, wouldn't he be Iron Fist? Anyway.
One sec, I need more wine.
All right. So you wanted to carve out a little shrine and try and pray to Bahamut to contact Foggy. I like that. That's going to be his nickname now. Foggy. Yes, extreme praying. What does extreme praying involve as opposed to regular praying?
Probably exposing myself to the elements
The
in
cave
various ways.
protected.
I figured it was like praying while doing crazy flips on a snowboard or something.
That's what I figured too. But
There could be some crazy flips involved.
crazy flips while exposing yourself to the elements. Why compromise when you can have both?
You don't want us exposing ourselves.
I'm nimble like that.
Is that when you would take advantage of using a different ability for your ability check? Roll religion with a dex instead of an int?
I feel like perform dance would follow through from that though.
Yeah, go make a performance check for your extreme praying.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh dear.
Would you like to make a religion check instead?
Yes. Oh my
Oh
god.
dear.
That's even
Inspiration
lower.
could re-roll one of those.
Take advantage on one of them because you're doing extreme prayer.
Can I re-roll?
Go ahead. You have multiple days of this extreme prayer.
There we go.
Yep, that'll do.
First time
Alright.
was just practice.
Had to get one.
Yeah, you spend the first day getting warmed up. But after that, you're nice and warmed up. You get a real good connection going to Bahamut or to some celestial ally. They forward a message for you through the celestial food chain to Foggy. You get an impression back that Foggy is not in Luskan. He's somewhere in the Starmetal Hills. And if you head there, he'll find you.
If it's been a day, we're probably not that far.
No, you are not. And indeed, about halfway through the day, as you're flying over the Starmill Hills, an adult bronze dragon comes out of the flies out of the hills and up towards your castle, and lands in the middle of the courtyard.
I go greet him quickly.
Hello! Oh, it is you. Oh, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
All right, darling.
Good to see you well. If you could do me a favor, though, there's some caves underneath that is the better place for us to be talking.
Oh, okay. Why?
I'll explain when we get there. Can I hop on?
Sure.
Hop on, direct into the appropriate cave.
He flies down to the appropriate cave. These are nice, very dragony caves. I do approve of them. They're a bit cold, though.
No, they were
Nice or-
carved out by another dragon who's since been evicted by the cloud giant who owns the castle up top.
Oh, is that why you didn't want me in the middle of the courtyard?
Pretty much.
Nah, that makes
Please
sense.
don't take it personally.
No. It's fine. Before I go any further, thank you for coming to help me. I really appreciate it. I'm mostly healed too. He lifts his wing a little bit. I got some lingering damage, some wounds not quite yet healed, but I should be good to go in a couple of days. It's very exciting. Thank you so much for letting me free.
Least we can do. Well, let me explain the situation, and I kind of give him the rundown of what's going on.
He asks several probing and curious questions.
He's a bronze dragon? Oh. Yeah, no, I'm assuming this is going to take all afternoon.
Probably. He keeps getting distracted and asking you more questions. But eventually you do get through the full explanation. So, what does this all have to do with you wanting to talk to me?
Well,
oh yeah, does everybody else want to join in on this? I guess is the other question.
I was gonna, but I wasn't.
I mean,
sure
you know
if I
he's
wanted
here.
to. Yeah.
I don't think I kick anybody out.
I'd go compare shininess of our bodies and trade nature facts.
Yeah, Inks isn't gonna turn up or turn down.
Felgulos will kind of look at you while you're trying to compare shininess. Well, obviously I'm shinier. I put so much effort into looking like this. He really is quite shiny.
I see I have something to aspire to.
Of course. Everyone
What's
should
your secret?
aspire
Do you
to
use do you use like some sort of product or something?
He leans his head in towards you. I jump in a lake every day.
I see.
It helps me. It really helps me get all those hard to reach areas.
Ox nods very seriously.
You know, you jump in the lake, you go down, you find like a geyser, and you just let it wash over you.
Insert flash dance music.
Anyhow, Felglos wants to know. You have scales too? Show me!
Oh, Inks always has her scales showing. She just looks like a half of scales showing.
Ah, they are shiny. Very nice.
I don't even know what color Adriel scales are.
That is a good question. What manner of sorcerer are you?
Yeah.
Or what color?
Dragon saucer, but you don't have to pick.
Yeah, you do. Then you get the advantage, the resistance thing. So you do pick a dragon type.
Yeah, but it's Saucer 6 is the first time it becomes relevant.
No, but Sorcerer 1, you pick the dragon type, and then,
I'm a roll.
well, you have lightning stuff, right?
I don't have any, because there's no... I have the mask, which is acid.
I just meant, like, you seem to focus a lot on, like, lightning type stuff, so I assumed it was the lightning version of Metallic Dragon.
Okay, we'll go with that. That's bronze.
Do you show your scales off too?
I can't imagine I'd get away with not.
It's a shiny party.
Adriel, you do have very nice bronze scales too. We match. He starts asking you intrusive questions about, like, where did they come from? What do you do to, like, keep them clean like that?
Like, which dragon did you fuck?
The answer of where they come from, well, you see, what happened is I died.
You did what?
Inks will arch her brow at that, because I don't think she's actually heard the story.
Well, I was with the what the elven word for circus, but you know it's all highfalutin and elfy. And I was doing the trapeze thing, and I missed the catch, and I fell, and that was pretty high up for a girl of 87. So they brought me to the temple to see what could be done. And they brought me back at the temple. I think even the priest was surprised at that.
Oh no, you were only 87 at the time? You were such a baby when you died. No wonder Bahamut brought you back.
Just kind of shrugs at that.
Yes, that certainly puts a damper on one's day.
I assume there's a purpose to it all.
Oh, definitely.
Like Bahamut works in mysterious ways.
Do you have any idea what it is?
It's never been communicated to me. But then again, she kind of gives a broad gesture at the whole place. This seems like it might be relevant, the whole giant thing.
Probably.
But that's actually not the main reason I wanted to speak with you.
Oh, yes. You had something you wanted to ask me. What is it? I owe you big time, so ask.
The first thing is, I have this, and I'll take out the mask, the Black Dragon mask.
Prologos kind of recoils a bit from it.
Yeah, I know.
And growls a bit. That is not pretty.
No.
Where did you get that?
Did we kill the owner? I believe we killed the owner.
You did kill the owner.
Yeah, we killed the owner. We killed the prior owner. Kind of shrug. It was the team that called us.
They were working with the dragon that was originally... that we evicted, let's say.
Alright.
I'm trying to figure out the right thing to do with this.
Depends on what you think is right.
Best option? Convert it.
Ooh, that would be good. That'd be hard, though. You need to use it in some way that's against its original purpose, probably, and towards Bahamut instead of Tiamat's. Because that is quite the Tiamat relic you have there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you'd need to find some way that's against what it's made for.
And to do that efficiently, I need to know exactly what it was made for.
Well, you can always make a guess. Tiamat's very supportive of evil dragons.
We did fight one.
Well, that's a good starting place, at least.
Yeah, I feel like that was a half measure, though. Okay.
Fought two, but I guess one afterwards.
I think that was like the third or fourth.
Yes, but not since you got the mask.
Oh, yeah, no. And not for nothing, killing like a young one isn't gonna... I mean, it's good, but...
No.
We did fight an ancient.
Yeah.
Ancient one would be good.
Yeah, but we'd have to actually kill it. Okay. Okay, that's a goal. That's something I can work towards.
Yeah, it's a good start. I don't know if it'll purify it all the way if you do, but it's at least somewhere to start. See if you're on the right track.
That was the first question. The second question is, on our current mission, our current quest, we need to find a ship on the ocean. And well, I understand you need some massage and some work on the muscle there. You can fly.
I can.
That would be very helpful in terms of scanning the ocean for a ship.
A very big one.
The ship itself is big too.
Right.
Can't you at least help with that, darling? Talking to Adriel, pointing towards the damaged wing.
Oh, I'm going to help with that.
It would be... Ask your giant friend. I won't be... Part of it is just that the wing needs to rest after healing. He gives basically a shrug. Needs to rest. I need to rest and make sure that everything healed properly on its own as well. Ask your dragon friend, or ask your giant friend if he'll let me ride down here all the way out into the sea. Because I'd probably... Where exactly are you going?
Trackless sea?
Down by the rocks.
Right. That's 600 or 700 miles. I cannot fly that continuously. Certainly not now.
Okay. Well, we'll ask.
All right. He looks kind of antsy at the thought.
If not, I think we're still not even over the Sea of Swords yet, so.
You're not.
Don't worry, darling. I think I can sway him with a smirk.
We are partially responsible for him getting his castle back. Also his body.
I think we're at a point if you don't bother each other, he won't bother you.
Bellows cocks an eyebrow at the mention of getting him his body back.
It's a very long story, darling.
Interesting. Did you have more questions for me?
Not at this time.
Unless you happen to know anything about krakens.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty buggers. Anything you're looking for in particular? I know a bit.
Potentially one called Slocrathal?
Ooh. He's not good.
No, I didn't think so.
What did you... Slurkruddle's supposed to be a spellcaster of some kind, too? In addition to being a kraken? He is just... He is not a good time.
Yes, we assume so.
Well, based on the information we have, his people are the ones holding the hostage.
Oh yeah, those Kraken Brotherhood guys, right?
That's right.
Very subtle name.
Yes, of course.
Well, new information, we know which Kraken.
Well, that narrows it down. I guess that's why you're looking for a ship?
That's right. We're freeing a prisoner somewhat similar to your situation.
Huh. So Krakens in general, don't fight them underwater. They have they're strongest underwater. They have several abilities that they can only use if they're underwater. Regardless of that, though, they also have an ability to control the weather, basically at will, around their lair. So if you're looking to fight a kraken, keep an eye out for that.
Well, we're certainly not looking to fight the kraken, but if the weather suddenly changes, we'll at least know it's nearby. That's very good to know. And just in case you're not aware, I would also suggest staying away from anyone calling themselves a disciple of the Yellow King. They're not very good.
Oh no, they're the worst.
Oh, you know?
They
That just
are
looks
the
very
worst.
interested.
Yeah, well, they're the worst. We've been told.
By whom, if I may ask?
Our god. Please, I can't say anything else. Trust me. He's told us they're bad news.
Ah, I see. I wish our gods could have told us similarly in such a direct manner.
We only heard a couple of days ago, so
She just looks very surprised by that. Yes, we had fairly recently, but a bit more than that. Now we just have to deal with their god or thing or whatever it is.
I don't think it's a god. It sounds worse.
Yes, well, they certainly seem to think of it as something of a god. But we have to deal with that after this particular situation with the hostage. It's quite a busy month or so.
Never a dull moment.
In most cases, I would enjoy that, but not in this particular one.
Yeah. Regardless, can you ask your giant-y friend if I can stay here?
Will do.
Yes.
Like I said, I think I can sway him. I'm very
He says
persuasive.
yes, I'll stay, but otherwise, I'm not sticking around with him.
All right, we'll find out right away.
Mm-hmm. Thanks will go to find Acheron and speak the case. Very persuasively.
He looks thoroughly displeased. Roll persuasion.
Can I assist?
I was gonna use the look point anyway. Go through, damn it!
Jesus.
Fuck yes!
Damn.
Those are some damn good eye blinking. Puppy dog eyes.
Igeron looks thoroughly displeased. Want to ferry a dragon now. You know, I was fine with carrying you all around. I was even fine with you jerking me around with all that teleportation. I will carry the dragon for you. I will take you to the Purple Rocks and bring you all home. For I do owe you a great debt. But after I bring you home, I will consider that debt paid.
This guy solemnly looks like, that's understandable. But I promise you won't have to look at each other.
He looks... Yes, because the looking at each other is the most important. Whatever.
If it's any consolation, he's been beaten up fairly much by your kind already.
Well, that's a bit of a consolation. I'll carry him, I'll bring you home. But after that, my debt to you is paid.
Very well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
He inclines his head. Kind of turns rude.
But either way, darling, it has been an honor to know you. And hoping I can at least see you again after that. If only to say hello.
We'll see. Oh! Good? I guess I'll, make myself comfortable down here. He kind of... He starts plodding around looking for a good corner to rest in. Occasionally, he uses a bit of repulsion breath just to flatten something out or make it a bit bigger. Other than that, no, actually, that was about as well as that could have gone.
Yeah, Angst did as best as she could, almost literally.
That's a serious bonus, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Igeron is not happy.
That wasn't even with advantage.
Yeah.
If anything, a dragon is helping fix the rift in his race.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be happy about it. He sure as shit doesn't have to be happy about one sharing his home.
No, he doesn't.
Alright. So, you guys head over the Starmiddle Hills, over Neverwinter Wood, out into the Sea of Swords. Igaron avoids speaking to you for at least the first few days. He does his best to ignore that there's a giant in his castle, or a dragon in his castle. Sorry. All right. Is there anything else people want to do on the way out? You guys did pick up a tome of understanding, I think it was. The wisdom one.
Yeah.
All right.
I think.
Yeah, Ox used it.
Yeah, Ox was the one best for that.
Okay. I think this is the first time you've had enough downtime to use it. Because it's at least a couple weeks out to the Purple Rocks and then back.
Right.
It is a long fucking way. But yeah, so you can definitely make use of that lovely tome that Queen Sarissa gave you. You find your understanding broadened and your mind opened as you gain +2 wisdom. Fuck yeah.
Did we decide who the other items were going to? Though I think all of us are at our limit for.
We're all at our attunement limit, so it's.
Yeah.
What were the other
Circling
items again?
The circlet is an attunement, I think.
So the circlet of blasting.
Yep, circlet of blasting and an amulet of proof against location and detection.
Which Inks would love, but just not right now.
You can keep it on you if you want.
She would if no one else wants it. She would make her case. What about the circlet?
I have a strong argument to keep it myself, so. Circlet of Blessing does not require
It does not.
attunement. It's Scorching Ray with a +5 to hit.
I think Richard already has it. At least I think you mentioned that.
He's as likely as anyone else to use it.
Yeah.
I thought I already had it.
I mean, if no one else wants it, I'll take it, but.
I mean, I'd take it. They'll probably be in the back anyway.
Go for it.
So I suppose we should also work out at least what our plan is. We don't know exactly what's on the ship, but we know, well, except Hecaton.
Well, that's part of it. We have to, once we locate the ship, we have to get as much information as we can quickly. And then honestly, it's just going to be a smash and grab job because we can't spy on it for very long.
If we can get Hecaton to at least be compliant enough to be willing to go with us, we can just use the conch.
That's a good point. Yeah, we just need him awake and aware of the situation. Heck, we don't even need him to... I mean, him bringing us is just a way out for us.
Him bringing us? What?
If whether or not he takes us to Maelstrom with the conch.
Well, I mean, Inks doesn't want to tune to it right now, so.
That's a good point. I forgot it's attunement.
Mm-hmm. So we just need to make sure that he's aware that we're on his side and willing to go with us.
Yeah, he's gonna need to be like all the way awake. That's the hardest part.
And he's probably going to be pissed off because apparently they think the Lord's Alliance did this. So how do we get him to believe that we're not with the group that kidnapped him? Because Sarissa said we all look alike.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he's gonna like look at us. Wait a minute, you look like Lord's Alliance elves. Like, we're just little people to him, I'm sure. But
Do we name drop?
we could try name dropping. Ultimately, I think the fact that we're letting him go should be the main factor.
Yeah, but if he's in stasis, he won't know who exactly let him go.
That's true.
Oh, why?
Do we need him conscious for the conch to work?
Do you need him to be conscious for the teleport spell to work?
Yeah, that is the question.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if willing meant he had to be aware.
I don't know. Can an unconscious being consent to spell casting?
They can't not consent.
Oh, let's not go into that weird consent territory.
Yeah. Can he be willing while he's unconscious? I'm gonna say if he expresses willingness, if he is friendly to you before he is knocked unconscious, then you would consider him as willing. However, I don't think you can just cast teleport on him while he's unconscious and he's never seen you before.
Yeah. Okay. So I think our best option is to probably name drop. And hope for the best. Get him awake, name drop. Because I don't know if we'll be able to explain this situation faster than that.
Probably not. And we'll probably be in a hurry.
Yeah, because especially if there's a Kraken nearby, I do not want to deal with that shit. Also, is there locate... Does anyone have locate person or, I guess, creature or something like that? To find out where on the ship Hecaton actually is. Because then we can just go straight to it as much as possible. Or I guess, is that something Adriel can prepare?
Does not appear to be on my spell list. Yeah, it's a 4th level spell. I would need to be Paladin 13 to pull that off.
Yeah, I don't know what objects would be on him that we would know would be on him.
I mean, we could probably get a pretty good description of like crown jewels or whatever, but that assumes they're on him.
Sized for a giant, maybe?
Maybe?
Clothing sized for a storm giant.
Aren't you a bit short for a storm giant? I mean, we could try and locate object, but I have a feeling it's just going to be smash and grab.
Yeah, I figured smashing and grabbing as close to the thing as possible is the best way to go. That might, if the ship is as big as we think it is, then that might involve more decks than a normal ship, especially like the one we just came from. That is
I expect it to be a bit bigger than that. I mean, we can try locate objects.
And also, if we can get the locate object working, then there's a better chance of getting close enough with Dimension Door.
That's true.
No, wait, we can't do that shit. Anti-divination.
Good point.
At least I assume that would be on everything on the ship instead of just on the ship.
Well, we've tried to score directly on Hecaton before, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Damn it.
So we know that's not an option.
I don't think I can dispel the anti-divination on the ship. It's probably smash and grab, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's closer to the middle of the ship as much as possible.
Yeah.
But that's just fantasy talk.
I mean, it's not like you're in a fantasy world.
Yeah. Or just like something that you would think of like in a play or a book or something like that. The most dramatic place. Like the dungeons of a ship. Alright, smash and grab it is. If we can get him aware and willing to work with us, then we can just teleport out. Also, hopefully just the fact that we have a conch should probably help with that.
Yeah, if he identifies that, he knows we can only take. He can only go to one place.
Yeah. So we get close to the ship, we figure out what the weather's like. Take note of any sudden changes in it. And try to grab the king and get out before Kraken shows up, unless it's already there. At that point it's fuck all, maybe we wait until it gets away a little bit.
Too many unknown variables to plan well.
Unfortunately. But there are at least some. Suppose other than that and preparing for when we find it. It's just a matter of enjoying the view while we have it, right? There's just some racism you can't change. I know that all too well.
Even if we thought we could, we'd have to do it on their scale.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Drug wishes are a thing.
Maybe someday.
Let's deal with the more immediate problems first.
Yes, then we can live another day to deal with the bigger ones.
Indeed. Alright. So, you all are on your way to the trackless sea. Purple rocks there. And I think this is where we're going to end for tonight. Because the Morkoth will be a sizable encounter, and I built it with all four, or I modified it with all four of you in mind.
Good to know. Cool.
I do not think you want to do it with only 3.
Yeah, hell no.
Sounds good.
So yeah, we'll stop here for tonight.
Cool.
Alright. That took much longer than I expected it to.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't. You guys took like an hour and a half to fucking get Dryland off his boat. I expected you to do it in like a third of that time. You're fucking level 12 now. You could have just busted down the door and taken him.
That's basically what I wanted to do.
I know.
Ink likes to be subtle as shit.
Yeah, we finally got a chance to be like sneaky and stuff.
Charisma crew, yo.
Whereas this next group, we're not going to be able to talk into anything, so stabbing away.
No. No, they will not be happy to see you.
Nope. See, we'll saved all the stabby, bust everything down for when everyone's around. There will be so many goddamn people for Ox to punch, probably.
I'm just looking forward to punching a Kraken.
I mean, you can try and punch the Kraken.
I mean, if it shows up, I don't know what else I'd do.
Krakens are scary as fuck.
Yes. I will warn you now, out of character. The Kraken is the, this probably won't come as a surprise, but the Kraken is the single highest CR creature in this entire campaign.
Yeah,
what are they, like 23, 24?
Normal Krakens are 23, but they also don't have legendary they don't have legendary resistance. Base Krakens don't, which I was very surprised at. This one does, and it has 9th level spellcasting.
God damn
Listen, we can take it.
Fuck you.
We just need to actually, like, have a plan before you get into it. Unlike with the Dragon.
Yeah, I think our plan is to throw Ox at it, grab the King Hecaton, and get the fuck out of there. If Ox is so tempted to punch it.
Listen.
Be my fucking guest.
Not my fault you didn't take Counterspell until now.
us from get our ass kicked by the professor without counterspell. Thank you.
To be fair, the main attack that bothered us was the lightning breath, which can't be counterspelled.
Yeah.
And if they had been in cover to start with, like we might have done if we had an actual plan to start with, that wouldn't have been a problem for most people.
But
Oh, no, I'd still would have been dead.
From total cover.
Yeah.
Because even if I make the save, it was like slightly more than half of my hit points.
Adriel is pretty fucked there. But see, that's what I'm saying, is we went in without a plan, and we got wrecked. We need to figure out a plan first, and then go in.
Except we don't know. We don't know if the Kraken's showing up. If it does, we don't know where we're fighting it. Aside from on a boat.
In the ocean, which is probably basically all of its lair. So we stay there.
No, it does have a fixed lair. And the entire ocean is not its lair.
Okay. Then
And
we
look,
stay away from the spot in the ocean where the weather is crazy fucking weird.
we have a flying castle. You get a few, like, really long chains, you get some hooks on the end of them, you dangle them from the castle, you hook the Kraken, you fly up higher into the air, you're no longer in the ocean.
How big is a Kraken compared to the castle?
I mean, it's smaller than the castle, technically.
Yeah, I mean, unless we're dealing with a fucking Tarask, I can't imagine anything's going to be larger than the castle.
How are you gonna get it to on the hooks?
Yeah, what kind of AC does a Kraken have?
It's basically just a melee attack.
Against regular hooks.
Nah, first you gotta enchant the hooks.
We do not have time to enchant a shit ton of hooks.
Man, you've got like 2 weeks on the way to this fucking place.
And it's basically just a melee attack. Ox and possibly Adriel just, ride the chains down and swing a few hooks into it.
Oh wow, they have lower armor than I thought, actually. Significantly lower than I thought.
It's also
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Which realistically is because they're gargantuan.
It's a spellcaster. It can probably teleport the fuck out of that.
Yeah, but that's why you got counterspell. And if Rich got it as well, then we can shut it down no problem.
How many times can it try to teleport versus how many times can we cast counterspell?
Look,
Like
I'm just saying, if we beat up a Kraken enough that its best option is to run away from us, I still think that's a win.
That's fair.
Given that our objective is not to kill the Kraken.
Yeah.
Whether or not the Kraken lives or dies
is murder us with, and I'm squishy.
That's why you stay out of line of sight if possible. Or not completely out of line of sight, but in heavy cover. So you still got to maintain line of sight to do the counter spells.
AoE doesn't involve cover much.
Actually, I think if you're behind cover, you from the origin of the spell, you might get an advantage on bonus to dex saves.
I mean, it's not like you need a ton of sight.
As much as my dex save.
Oh, yeah.
You just need a little bit of line of sight to the Kraken so you can cast your spells. So basically, if we can just get some murder holes on the bottom of the castle that you can cast through, and then we just make sure that we chain it within 60 feet of the bottom of the castle, and we're good to go.
I'm just really hoping we really don't have to deal with the Kraken.
We'll see. We will see. I'm a big fan of DMing. I've discovered that I'm a big fan of DMing online as opposed to in person. It makes it a lot easier to cackle when I can just mute my mic.
Fuck you. Question, is it possible to dispel magic on a thing on a giant ship?
Define a thing.
Like the divination problem.
Well, dispel magic can target an object within range, right? Hold on a second.
Yeah. You can target objects.
Let me back up my character sheet so I can check the spell. The ship is an object, right? I mean, it's not a creature.
That is a safe assumption, yes.
I guess it depends on whether it's like one effect. For
Well,
the
you roll.
entire
I think you
thing.
roll separately for each effect.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm wondering if it's like one effect for the entire, like, everything on the ship, including the ship itself. Because if we can get that down, then we can locate person or creature or whatever.
The way it's worded in like the module, it does sound like it's just one effect if you wanted to try and dispel it.
I would try to dispel it. Because that's our first way to get through it very quickly.
What sort of range does dispel magic have?
120 feet.
So I mean, you gotta get pretty close to the ship
Yeah.
before you do that.
Yeah. Well, either way, they're gonna know we're coming.
Also, a solid assumption.
Man, this is when it'd be really nice to have a shape-shifting druid.
Sigh. Seagull.
They could get close, more or less undetected, cast their detect magic, get out, or their dispel magic, I mean, and then we can scry from safety.
Well, if it's on an object, it's only going to suppress it for a period of time. Or if it's a magic item, it counts as a magic item.
I mean, that's fine.
You'd also have to make the check to dispel it.
Which I might have a chance.
I mean, even if you assume it's a 9th level, at your spell, it's a spellcaster check.
I get a +10.
Right, so you got to roll 9 or better.
And I have luck points now.
And if you fail, you just try casting it again. Or does dispel magic grant immunity after you try to use it once?
I only have 2 scrolls, though.
Specifically, like, the spell description just refers to ending spells.
But Adriel can cast it, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
So if we can find a way to sneak you down there, like flight and invisibility and stuff, before the castle makes itself fully apparent, we might be able to scry and plan before going in full force. We'll see. Depends how sneaky we can be.
Scrying all depends on whether we can get the dispel magic off first.
Right, which depends on whether or not we can sneak Adriel down there before the ship knows we're there.
Yep. Which Probably not, because I assume there's probably more wards on it than just no divination. Well, though I guess, like, if somebody is on it already, does that count as being part of it and there's no way to divinate that they're there?
Well, you know that people can't scry the Storm King. So, it kind of follows.
Yeah, so if we get somebody invisible onto the ship, then immediately they're non-detectable. So, like, a dimension door might work.
Well, things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Question, would I be able to twin spell from a scroll?
I don't know. I'd have to check.
That made my thought whether we pause for a second for a scroll of greater invisibility or not. But yeah, sounds good for next time.
Alright.
I think I gotta give nomination to Adriel for talking to the dragon.
Thank you.
My boy Foggy. Alright. Let's, sounds good. Congratulations.
So, rules as written,
Uh,
you should be able to use meta magic on a scroll or an item. Rules as intended, very clearly not.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably go with not then.
Good to know.
Well, maybe. From where I'm reading, pretty much like every person from Wizards commented on this posted something different.
That's a good sign.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. I don't suppose there's like a sage or anything for it, is there?
The sage is going to give you exactly what the ability says, so. And they all just say when you cast a spell. They make no note of what kind of spell it has to be.
Alright. I mean,
Which I think is specifically to include multi-class spells. Although, in general, they seem to want spellcasting to be spellcasting, except for Warlock.
There's
Anyways.
one of the threads I'm reading has a proposed compromise that if you're using your own spellcasting abilities, should be able to meta magic if you're using the item spellcast. If it as a set D or something, then you shouldn't. That's a homebrew solution. I think that's what I would support.
Oh, so like if the scroll is like a wizard scroll and you're a bard or something?
Like
the scrolls are kind of in a gray area there too, because the scroll lets you cast the spell.
right.
The scroll casting the spell.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So, like, certain staffs or other magic items will be like, you cast this with a +5 to hit, rather than a cast this with your own spellcasting modifier to hit. So,
Yeah.
in that case, it feels more like the item is actually casting the spell, versus like a
So
stone of spell storing or something.
So I'm on
Casting
RPG
spell.
Stack Exchange, and there is a Crawford tweet that says there's a Crawford tweet and a Merle's tweet that both support that casting spells from magic items does not technically count as like using an action to cast a spell. So, like, if you cast an abjuration spell from an item, it doesn't trigger Arcane Ward, sort of thing.
Well,
it does.
But if you scroll down further on that thread, there's a series of yeah, I think so. There's a series of Crawford tweets about other things that aren't actually the casting a spell action that he's saying do count for meta magic, like wild magic or arcane ward.
Oh, good. I love when they have contradicting tweets.
Right, that's what I said. So the Crawford tweets overall seem to support being able to meta magic off of it, whereas I agree the Merle's quote clearly not in support of it.
Yeah. Merle's is the designer, right?
Crawford is generally the final word on rules.
Okay.
Right.
But even he will occasionally go with the. That's what the rule says. It's totally not what we wanted it to say, but it is what the rule says. Because with pre-errata great weapons, he's like actually like as written. Yes, Smite should have the great weapon fighting style effect. We totally didn't intend that, but that's what it says.
Yeah, his reasoning for I remember seeing that. His reasoning for it was really unsatisfactory to me.
I mean, what they meant to say was when your weapon damage dice have, reroll ones and twos. But what they said is your damage dice.
I totally understand like the ruling and stuff. I'm just the reason they gave, I think, was like we want you to reroll fewer dice. Which, like, okay, fine, but I was disappointed.
I always thought the reason was it's broken as fuck.
Yeah, it should be more of like a balance decision, not a decision.
Oh yeah,
it's hard to reroll dice even if you're a person.
Rerolling dice is fun.
Yeah, you get bigger numbers. What's not to like? So I guess for that, we'll stick with the Crawford ruling then. Yes, you can twin from scrolls. How do you want to twin from scrolls?
Well, I need to get a scroll of Dispel Magic, if that would be nice. Or no, Greater Invisibility.
Ah, okay. I mean, you can try and craft one in the 2 weeks you have. It may go poorly, though.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
Rich.
Yeah, Rich would have to. Or we'd have to stop at like Neverwinter or something like that on the way.
Yeah. Up to you.
At this point, we probably can't. Didn't want to piss off Igaron anymore. Damn,
Yeah,
that roll though.
That really was the best you could get from him.
You just need to arrange a complicated and convoluted situation where the dragon saves Igeron's life, become best friends forever.
There we go.
Ah, yes.
Peace to the entire material plane. It's like peace in the Middle East of this world.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't bring peace between dragons and giants, just between this specific dragon and this specific giant.
But it's a first step. It proves a point.
Man, what would Igeron have done if he got like reincarnated as a dragonborn or something?
Yeah, oh,
Oh,
Kill me, do it again.
doesn't bear thinking about. He may have tried to jump off the castle.
Like, Inks isn't happy that she had to essentially sweet talk her way into losing a favor, losing a contact. That's all she can do.
I mean, he didn't throw you off the castle.
Yeah. But they were on better terms, and then he stopped talking to her. And that's basically against everything she ever does.
Such is life. Win some, lose some.
Yep.
Alright. See you guys next week.
Yep. See you next week, guys. Have a good week.